guys, Ralph is here. True Power, Trumpet Fitness. How you doing? Hope you're doing as good as me. I'm having a great day. Anyway, the sun's out. That's a good thing. Yeah, I want to talk about changing the embouchure a little bit. Okay? With True Power, that is a completely different thing than what it meant back in the day. And with that said, let's get to it. I did a little bit of stationary bike. I did some kettlebells, but I have not played. So let's see what we got. Yeah, not bad. Arbin characteristics study down the bottom of the page, and then Elfine up to Da Capo up to the beginning. Yeah, usually I scream for you, or I play a little Caress the Baby. I don't do a lot of barbed wire for you, so a little bit of that first thing in the morning without a warm-up. Anyway, changing the embouchure. Now, back in the day, this used to be the kiss of death. It used to be the kiss of death. You know, strike fear in the hearts of all players that came across those three words, change the embouchure. Now, many times, if somebody wants to change your embouchure, it has to do many times with just what the thing looks like. So many people, you know, the whole Philip Farkas nonsense, where it's, you know, 2/3 up and 1/3 bottom, and it has to be, look, some of the greatest players who ever lived didn't go by that. Maynard was off to the side. Okay, Horst Fischer had a very dramatic upstream. Adolf Scherbaum, one of the greatest players, some of the greatest chops that ever lived, looked like he was playing a clarinet. I mean, right? My man from New York, my good friend Jim Hines, he had a very, very odd looking thing. Very, very upstream and definitely off to the side. Worked great. Thank God nobody changed him, okay, for that reason alone. Any of those guys, trust me, we wouldn't have known them. Don't change the embouchure for those reasons. And anybody says, well, it's way too much on the top lip and we got to get more, just run the other way. Run the other way, okay? Well, you're off to the side, then we got to get it over. Look, that has nothing to do with how you play, nothing. And anybody that says that, run the other way. A formula that one size fits all, nonsense. Guys, I'm going to the dentist in a few minutes, okay? My teeth are different from yours. My teeth are different from Mel Broyles. My jaw is different from all of you. My lips are different. My nose, my chin, my tongue, the most important thing, is different from everybody else. We're all unique. So the notion that you can only play with one airstream, with one embouchure, in the middle, 2/3 top, 1/3 bottom, it's poppycock. It's poppycock. There is way too much evidence to the contrary. Those people I just mentioned, and we can go on and on and on for these, you know, learned teachers who are just changing you for no reason at all and can't play themselves, you know, okay? Now, when you change with True Power, the only thing you're changing or thinking about is your tongue position. And that goes on inside your mouth. It has nothing to do with what it looks like outside. Now, over the course of using this True Power, the way you use your tongue is going to change what it looks like outside. It absolutely is. If you saw me, pictures of me, and I have a few, pictures of me playing when I was, 25, The chops look completely different from what they are now. I look very much like Nat Karaikov. All strained and tense in the corners. Very much. Okay? And it wasn't until I relaxed the corners and changed the tongue position that I came to this thick, muscular look that I have now. And ultimately, that is what you are after, but you don't go by what it looks like on the outside. You go by what it feels like on the inside. And what happens, and I've told this a zillion times, guys, the more that you can compress and use the tongue to compress the air, the more it's going to take all the strain off the lips. The more it takes the strain off the lips and relaxes the lips, the more you're going to compress. And what came first, the chicken or the egg? Who knows? But I have so many students, especially the older ones that have gone through the rigors with other systems, say, well, you know, the downstream, and no, you're thinking a wrong thing. The only thing that you should be thinking about when you're playing is making the tongue thick and firm. And as you go higher, it has to be thicker and firmer. Okay? Now, I'm fooling around with a few things, like actually thinking about more compression on the sides, which is going to be cool. And if it works out, then I will give it to you in a couple days. And that's the thing, a couple days. Now, when you change the embouchure with true power, what it will do is it will feel awkward. It will feel awkward. But you are going to have more tone and more power immediately. And that is the beauty of true power when you're changing the embouchure. So often, I can't begin to tell you all the guys in college that were changing their embouchure just for some, reason that it didn't look right. Okay, it's like an aesthetic change. It didn't look right. Okay, and some of them were excellent players, but it didn't look right, so they changed. And it's like when they do that, forget it. You're back to grade one. It's like you get the beginner band book out and you play whole notes. You can't play. And these talented guys are devastated. I mean, they're going in and taking their college juries on an embouchure that they've been playing 2 months, and they're getting D's and F's on their college jury because the stupid teacher changed the embouchure just because it didn't look right. That's silly. Guys, that's silly. And usually, they'll say, well, 6 months from now. Well, how do you know 6 months from now? You might do this for 6 months, and it may not give you what you need. So you've just completely wasted 6 months of your life. Now, every single student I've ever had, and I've had over 3,000, every single student I've ever had is going to, if they have the right mouthpiece, is going to experience greater tone, purity of tone, and more power in the first lesson. And you know what? I'm going to do it now. I'm making a guarantee. I will do a video tomorrow with the official guarantee, guaranteed or your money back. Every single one of them has gotten better with tone and power. Now, when they go off on their own and I don't see them for a couple months, I don't know what they're doing, right? So well, it does work. Well, yes, it does work. Because when you're sitting there with me, every single one, you never go through a half-hour lesson with me and sound worse than you did when you started. Never. And there's no other teacher other than Jerry, no other teacher can absolutely 100% make that claim. Okay? You know, so many in the sports world, you know, the term trust the process. Trust the process. And a couple of the schmoes on the YouTube are picking up that vernacular. Trust the process. There's no process. It's right and it's wrong. And if you're playing right, you will not have an adjustment period. I take that back. It will feel awkward. So if you have a lesson with me at 1 o'clock in the afternoon and you have a job at 8 o'clock that night, yes, you absolutely may clam some notes that you didn't normally play because we play by feel, and you're not sure of the feel. But you are not, after half an hour with me, losing anything on tone and power. And every single one of my students, every single one of them is thrilled immediately with tone and power. Now, I have had several students, usually the older students, they'll take a lesson and I don't see them for a couple weeks. Okay? And for the most part, they email back and I give them little tips on email and all this sort of stuff and they're going. But usually, if I don't see them for a couple months, many times they come back and their chops are worse than when they started. Okay? And they got off. That's okay. That's okay. We start from the beginning again. And every single time, I had guys almost in tears because they can't play a note. They literally can't play a note. Swollen. After half an hour, they're playing notes, and they're playing better than they have. And if you just keep it going, the change of the embouchure is not a problem. Now, the change that we go through, if you are a hardcore professional that has to play every single day, this might feel, as I said, awkward for a couple days. So, again, if that's the case, you might want to take a weekend where you're in the slow season when your schedule's clear, because I'm telling you, once you get this going, you are not going to be able to play the other way. It's right and it's wrong. Whatever other way you're playing, it's right and it's wrong. So please, if anybody says, well, we got to change the embouchure, and we're talking 6 months, and well, you play with the wrong stream, say thank you, but no thank you. Be polite and get up and get on. Give me a call. It's as simple as that. Okay, buy the book, Double C Manifesto. It's all right there. Don't go through that nonsense. I'm telling you, you don't have to. Get in touch with me. Get a mouthpiece from Jerry. The mouthpieces. Now, he has a 7-day money-back guarantee. 3 months now, not one person wanted mouthpiece back. Not one. It's brilliant. Anyway, we'll talk tomorrow. We won't talk over the weekend, and I hope to see you again on Monday. Okay, guys. Firm the tongue, thicken the tongue. Love you all.